All right, architecting. So yeah, this was data set I got um, from the data analysis channel technical assessment. So scroll up. Okay. Yeah, this was data set I got from here, and then um, so yeah, the first task was in Excel, and it says import data into Excel and expect you to familiarize yourself with the columns and data types. And that's what exactly what I did. So row ID, I got to understand that this is just an integer that is identifying each unique row in our data set. Order ID is a unique um, value that is attached to each order, right? And then uh, there are some orders that had like multiple items attached to them. So like this first two, they really are the same order ID, but then when we go down, you will see that there are different items that were ordered for. And of course, the order date was the order was made, and ship date was the that the order was gotten. So this is a date column, a date column. This is a regular character column, like say um, um, a general column that is not necessarily a number or a letter, right? And then shape mode is a numerical column. One of the ways I even made it easier was so when I'm clicked into a table like this in Excel and I go to my data, I can insert filters, right? So I put filters this way temporarily just to be able to see unique rows, particularly for categorical variables like say so if I check this order date, for example, it gives me an insight as to what sort of data. Yeah, so this kind of shows me that of all the since Excel can tell that this is a um, date column, so we have the date is ranging from 2014 to 2017. So there's no day later than 2017 and there's no day earlier than 2014. Basically, that's what the filter admin does do rather. Sorry. Then ship mode, for example, it shows me is a categorical variable that just contains four unique categories. So the ship mode is either a first class, same day, second class, or standard class. All right. By the way, then for the customer, very similar to the order ID, there's a unique customer ID that is linked to a certain customer, right? Like we see this order, this customer ID and this customer ID, same as this customer name, of course. So this clear goods is the customer ID, or is one with this customer ID, and then segment two is also a categorical column that just has different types of customers. So our customers are either consumers, corporate customers, or home office customers, right? So these are what the filters help me do. Even in this country, I was able to discover that there's only one type of country, which is United States, right? Then the city, every single city in the United States, and of course, if I want to just see the records for this Abidjan, for example, um, so of course, it shows me that there's just one record of 9,994 rows, and this is just there's one order made in this Abidjan city, which I guess our team is supposed to look into because why is there only one order we have from Abidjan, right? So um, there's that, and then we have our state column. Um, very similar. We see every unique state. So for example, we want to see only information from Arizona. Then we get to see, okay, Arizona. This is just Arizona. And then we see that there are a couple of states under Arizona. So if we check that, we'll see that there are a couple of states just under Arizona. And even apply on that filter here. So we see this Avondale city comes up about 6 times. This was 6 times under Arizona. So um, these are all the things that the filter helps me do. Um, and then the postal code type of column is just big integer because of how we know the postal code is. So that's how it works. The region is a categorical variable that just contains either central or east or south or west, and then product ID, unique ID for each product that we have, and then category. We see that these first two um, rows that had like it was the same order, it was the same order, the same customer and all. But when we now start getting to the product ID, we see that it's different because they're different products and then they're different subcategories, of course, but although they are in the same category. And then, of course, the sale prices are different and the quantities are different, and of course, no discounts on this, and then profits are also different. All right, so that is like inside of the to doing is just to understand this data and understand every part of it. And then, of course, in understanding more of it, I try to check for number of blanks in the orders table. And of course, you see, I use the count blank function and then highlighted the entire um, um, table. So this was like my process. So um, count around, right, and the range. So to be able to pick up the range, just scroll down to um, this is what I really just want to focus on value and I click it on the radar. So when I hold Control and Shift and I will press the right button, it picks it will automatically pick to the last um, the edge of the table, and then if I paste down, it just picks the entire range. So I can see it up here by area, by entire range selected. And when I cover it up and then press enter, just scroll up, I see that count and that. So that was how I was able to get this. Uh, I did that. I did the similar thing for the average. So the average of the sales column. Right. So in this sales column, maybe I'm just picking the first value of sales year. So when I click in here, and the first value of sales year, and then Control Shift down, and I was able to pick all that value. And then yeah, got an escape there. Then I also did average for the discount column, and then the next average for the profits column, and then total sales, just sum on this, that's there, and then the total profit also sum on the angle, and then the number of sales we made was I simply just did a count and every sale value because that indicates the sale. That indicates a sale. So every sale value was counted and then we were able to get 9,994. I'm sure we saw that value there, right? And then in the questions that were in our technical assessment, okay, it says create a pivot table showing the total sales by category, format pivot table, use exempt function to answer the following question. I think, okay, was this number 3? The answers for this that are here. The first talks about highest and lowest sales. So this was highest sales. Just use the max function on the sales column again. Then use the min function, returning the lowest value in the sales column since it is a numerical column. And then total number of orders was a count of this was the order ID. So because we know that every order has a um, unique order ID. So that was it's counting just counting every um, order ID. Of course, because it was not a numerical column, so we needed to use this count A as compared to normal count. So he counted every single cell in that column, right? And that's why I was able to still give us the 9,994 that we had here. Then the total sales per technology for the technology category. That was a question in number 3 as well. And the way I was able to do that was to use a sum if, a conditional formatting, and I'll just run through that again. So basically, equals SU, uh, yes, equals SUM, S equals sum. If I needed to click an M in my on-screen keyboard because my M does not work. So yeah, then sum if. So of course, the first thing is already asking us for a range, and the range is our entire um, table. So yes, so we have that. Okay. Um, okay. The range of the sum if, sorry, the range should be um the actual column, yeah, where we have the category, right? So when I scroll to the categorical column, right, when I scroll to the categorical column, sorry, the category column, that's this column. So the range is everything here. So picking the first cell, shift control down, I've picked the entire thing. So the next thing is to drop the criteria. So I have to put a comma, that's a mistake, a comma, and then I have to pick a criteria, and the criteria is technology in this sense. So basically, I'm telling Excel that for everywhere you see technology in this range, then the sum range is now what it needs to sum. So the sum range is from, because it's sales, we want to add all the sales for a place where it is technology. So picking the first, I'm picking going all the way down, and that's me already effectively picking the entire sales for um, every category. But we want to specifically focus on the one for when it's technology. So then press enter. So of course, this is okay. This is already even up. So yeah, this is it. So then to just format it this way, I had to go to my home tab, and then just say I'm able to just format that. Because if I want to add extra decimals, because I added more decimals, but if I just want to reduce it to 2, right? So that was I was able to get that or achieve that. And then of course, and that thing I checked in my data too. Prior to doing many of these analysis, I was checking for nulls in my data set, and this is also using conditional formatting. The other conditional formatting is the if, and then so I'll also run that majorly. So if and then bracket, then sorry, I was supposed to start with an equal to, sorry. So if, right, so normally I'm supposed to pass a logical test. So instead of just passing a straight logical test, now my logical test is another function, because it can help me test for what I want to test for. So count if I want to count if you checking a range and then using the criteria to check the range. Basically, so I want to, for me to be able to effectively determine duplicates, I want to ensure that no row has um, exactly the same values in every of its column. No row has that exactly, because some rows have similar values in different columns, right? So every column together has to be the criteria. So first of all, this counting will have to determine the range, which is again the entire table, right? I have to determine that, and then go ahead to now determine the criteria. So my criteria in this situation is, the criteria in this situation is so I wanted to look at every 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 row. So I'll picking from the first cell in this first row and then picking to the last cell. So again, the entire table, and then this is an indication for every row. That's okay. So if you see, I want you to look into every row and then check if I want you to look into every row and then check if they are if they are duplicated. Then okay, sorry, sorry, shift control and then check if they are duplicated. Um, so if the total amount of duplicates is greater than one, because we have a is if function we're actually writing, right? Um, if that total amount of duplicates, right, is greater than one, then of course I want you to tell me, I want you to be able to tell me yes, I want you to be able to tell me that. And if not, you should just tell me no. I had to make some research to be able to uh, know how I could combine these functions together. So pressing enter effectively, so it just yeah, so it tells me no. So that's exactly what I did here. So we're able to check if there were any rows that had exactly the same values in every column, and of course there was none like that. All right, so that was effectively answering the um, third question. So the sorry, yeah. So okay, so the second question, which was about creating a pivot table, showing the total sales by category, and then it says format the pivot table. Um, so I already created that, but for the sake of this video, I'm going to just do that again. So basically, if I'm clicked in anywhere in this table and then I use the insert button on the insert tab, um, yeah, sorry, please give my laptop a moment. Um, yeah, so when I click on the insert tab, I'll see the option for pivot tables, which I'm sure I'll be saying yes. So pivot tables. So when I click pivot tables, it brings this window that tells me choose data you want to analyze. So it already Excel already automatically, since this is the sheet I'm in, it's already seeing that um it has picked up the range already, and then already even the name of the sheet. So you already picked up the range, and then it's asking me if you should paste the new pivot table is about to be created in this existing sheet or a new worksheet. Of course, new worksheet makes it cleaner, so I'm putting that in the new worksheet altogether. And so being in the new worksheet now, I'll just use it shortly, just to um, get some insight again. So basically, what I want to check is um, uh, total sales by category. Right, so total sales by category. So I think I can carry the category from here and drop in the row section. Right, so and then I can just see here different unique categories we have, and then each sale. So if I carry sale and put here, right, so it does sum of sale, but really what I want to do is I want to count this sale. So I can click on this and then value field settings, just edit it, so I can change this stuff here. Can even change the topic of my table here, down to say um number number um no I want to say number of sales, for example. So number of sales, um and then I've already changed it to count here, and can also still click on this number format to edit the way the number should look. if I want the number to have commas or decimals. I'm sure there will not be any decimals because we are counting. So it's going to be integers, like whole numbers. So I'll not need this, but I'm guessing I'll need this. And then okay again, and then of course it gives me a count of the numbers, number of sales. Of course, these are the total sales, and this is um, 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 for each level. The interesting thing is that this is very intuitive. So if I carry my subcategory, which I know is a subset of category, and I put it under here, it even breaks it down further. So I can see furniture, and I can see that okay, there are four subcategories under furniture, which we have bookcases, chairs, furnishings, tables, and all. And then I think if I carry my product name as well and drop it under here, I can even see a bigger um, breakdown. But I want to remove that because that is um, that is more difficult or more harder to follow. So of course, with this level, I can always close it down. I can even always close collapse every field, collapse the entire field, every field that is on that level, and then um, sorry, I need to close. I collapse the entire field on that level, and it collapses that. If I want to rank these numbers, just to see and sort it by highest to lowest, you can sort from largest to, and I see that office supply is actually the one that has most sales very quickly and get that inside majorly. So this just effectively gives us the um, total sales per category, and then yeah, I think another thing I did was to just format it to look a bit different. So this field, I give this field a different uh, color, and then this is a similar thing, just to make it a bit more um, a bit more intuitive and easy to follow majorly. All right, so that is just it about um creating pivot tables for this column section. This filter section is when you want to filter on the data. It just helps you to be able to put more without making data look too rowdy. I'm thinking of something I can put in this column section. I think the segment is supposed to be able to fit in with the segment. The segments are just unique segments. So it's basically it just breaks down the information further. So we see that in the 6,000 over 6,000 sales that office supplies made, about 3,000 of that was 3,000 of that was from consumer customers, right? So it just breaks down that information more. So that's what the column section is about. But then the filter section um, is, let me look under categorical variable that can fill in the filter. Okay, I think I see one. I think state is something. Yes, so in the state, so this is numbers for every single state, right? But if I just want to see maybe for um, Alabama, well, I mean, I just want to see for Alabama, yeah. So this is only information, yes, for Alabama majorly. So in Alabama, there were 36 sales on office supplies, but it was just 13 that were from consumer customers. Majorly, we see that corporate customers even had more sales. There were more sales to corporate customers in Alabama. Basically, that was the filter. That's what this entire field section does in pivot tables. Because it brings all the numbers, so we can always remove this field majorly. So yeah, that was in answering this question about showing the total sales by category and then formatting the pivot table. So creating a visualization came about when I'd already gotten all that insight. So back to Excel. So this is pivot table for segment one. which I did. Pivot table for segment 2, which I also did. So basically, total number of sales per segment, right? Number of sales per segment. Um, okay, so it's pivot table for category that shows number of sales per category. So this number of sales per segment of our customers, and then we created a visualization from this. Right? We created a visualization from this simply by just inserting. Right? So let me try to do that with here. Okay. So simply by just inserting, this is clicked in here. So insert no, let me use a column because I mean we just have little few categories, right? So this is already showing um, what we have. So just editing it. This first this field buttons we can disable them just to allow. So this is idle field buttons on chart. You can disable it just to give more room to the chart. Then this legend is not totally needed, so I can delete that um, to be able to give this. Of course, our chart needs a good title. Let me start with that. Um, yeah, so just clicking on that. There's always this interactive box that comes up when we are doing our visualization in Excel, so it makes it easy to format. And okay, so yeah, so this is just um number of sales per category. With my so number of sales, sorry, sales per category, right? So number of sales per category, and then for our so any part of the chart I click, this changes because I have the option to edit that. So I click on the bars because what I really want to do is because there are different categories, I want them to vary by color. So there's this option to just do that. So vary color by points, just that. And then there's a bit more work on the background that you can do to even put desired colors that you want. Basically, I want this entire chart area to have its own border because at this time it does not really have a border. So if I click out on it, I don't know where it ends. So after that, I click on it and then I'll come down to I need to put this border. Click on border, then I can give a solid line border. I want to make it black, and then yes, already I can see that this already has a border. It makes more sense this way. If I click this part of the um that's my axis, my y axis. So text, I can also make give that text a feel, a strong feel, like really dark, and it makes the values visible. Can give the text a good outline, so it looks very thick. But I reduced that by, or I made that more visible by just increasing the transparency. I can see that the numbers are a bit more visible and not too thick right now. So can always edit this manually by and then of course that's my too. So doing that here, you see that this is pretty visible now. Do that here and then um okay, so I think alright, so yeah, so this text field, yes, I need to come back here. This text field solid, actually want to make it black, and then text outline make it darker. Of course, it becomes very thick. want to reduce the width first of all to 0 all the way, and then placing 90 here, and that just makes it rhyme and even rhymes with what is there before. We can also edit these grid lines in between here. But I don't want to make them too thick because I don't want them to compete with the bars. And of course, on the bars, I can also add data labels like we have this now, and it puts the actual values of each, like the actual height of bar. So because this one is very close to 2000, but we say it's actually 2121, same as this one. This one is actually 6026. But it's hugging the 6000 line. Yeah, so that's just a bit about the formatting on in Excel, and then now I formatted to get this pie chart here, and then it was in the number format section that I put in Naira figures here. Yeah, so yeah, this is just for the whole explanation. Um, yeah, so then Power BI, yes, Power BI. Doing the Power BI, I also worked with it. Yeah, doing the Power BI, I also worked with it, and then um, just to be able to uh, ex yes, so yeah, I hope this video is actually no more than 20 minutes already. That's like my content. Alright, so with the Power BI, I think I can open another sheet to just be able to explain what's happening there. I do going back to the sheet just to be able to show what is actually showing. So we see we have our sales amount per quarter. We came to understand that our data actually has information from 2014 quarter one all the way to 2018 quarter one. So and it ends there. So we don't have quarter two of 2018 and latest. So and then we see how the figures, the amount of sale, how it goes and comes and goes. Um, and then we see our total sales amount by category. So our three categories: technology, furniture, office supplies, and these are the total sales amount. So we had 0.84 million in technology. In furniture it was 0.74 and on. And then we see total profit by category, same way. And then we see the total sum of our entire sales, and then we see some of our entire profit. And then we see these filter buttons for segments. So if we click on customers, for example, um, it, it's filtered at this time is loading. So it will filter all our data. So all our data will just show for our consumer customers alone. All our data will show for our consumer customers alone. Sorry, please, it's still loading. Exactly. So you see that it's not up to 2.3 million again, but I mean 1.16. That's our consumer customers we actually there. Yes, so we'll compare them with all the other ones. So we see that it changes all the way. Check our corporate um also changes. We see um the line charts and then home office. That effectively just helps us to understand um, that again, I'm concerned that this video is more than 20 minutes.